Have you ever caught yourself stuck in a spiral of thoughts, overanalyzing every decision, questioning every word you say? What if I told you that overthinking isn't just a bad habit? It's a psychological trap that holds you back from living your best life. Stick with me as we explore the science of overthinking and how to break free from it. Overthinking. We've all been there, right? You wake up in the middle of the night replaying a conversation from earlier in the day, or you spend hours obsessing over a decision that really only needs a few seconds of thought. But what exactly is happening in your brain when you're overthinking? The science behind overthinking reveals that it is deeply rooted in the way our brain processes fear, anxiety, and uncertainty. Our brains are wired to anticipate danger. This survival mechanism helped our ancestors stay alive. But in the modern world, this instinct often gets triggered in situations where danger is not present. Overthinking becomes a defense mechanism, often when we're uncertain about our actions, our future, or even how others perceive us. But why does our brain go into overdrive in such moments? The answer lies in the way our cognitive system works. Our brain can hold on to thoughts and worries in a loop, and each time we revisit them, they become stronger and more pervasive. This is called rumination, and it fuels anxiety, stress, and emotional exhaustion. Overthinking isn't just an annoying habit, it's a psychological cycle. According to research, when we overthink, we often feel like we're solving a problem, but in reality, we're only deepening our anxiety. Imagine you're facing an important decision. The first few minutes of thinking might help you evaluate your options, but soon your thoughts spiral. You start to imagine worst-case scenarios, and every possible outcome feels dire. This is your brain on high alert, driven by uncertainty. The more you think, the more anxious you become, which only fuels more thinking. It's a loop that traps us in a mental cage. The most frustrating part, we feel like we're doing something, but we're not. Overthinking tricks us into believing we're being productive when in reality, it's draining our energy and clouding our judgment. Before we dive deeper, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone you know who struggles with overthinking. Let's break free from this cycle together. Now let's move on to how overthinking impacts your life. Overthinking doesn't just mess with your mind, it impacts your body, relationships, and overall well-being. Studies show that chronic overthinkers experience higher levels of stress, sleep disturbances, and even physical ailments like headaches and stomach issues. But it's not just about the physical toll. Overthinking can hinder your decision-making process, leaving you stuck in indecision or paralysis. You start doubting your own judgment, and that erodes your confidence. Over time, this constant state of self-doubt can lead to mental health issues like anxiety and depression. And let's talk about relationships. How many times have you overthought a conversation or a text, only to discover the issue wasn't even real? Overthinking leads to miscommunication, unnecessary conflict, and sometimes even the end of relationships. We start reading too much into other people's actions, interpreting things through a lens of fear, and assuming the worst. But what's actually happening in our brains when we overthink? A big part of the answer lies in the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for decision-making and problem-solving. When we overthink, this area of the brain becomes overloaded, which reduces our ability to think clearly and make rational choices. At the same time, the amygdala, the part of our brain responsible for processing emotions and threats, becomes hyperactive. This causes us to feel more anxious, fearful, and reactive. The more we overthink, the more the amygdala takes control, while our logical thinking process gets pushed aside. In essence, we're putting our brains in a state of cognitive dissonance, trying to make decisions while feeling emotionally overwhelmed. This conflict between our thoughts and feelings can lead to confusion and eventually burnout. So, how do we escape this endless cycle of overthinking? The first step is awareness. Simply recognizing that you're overthinking is a powerful tool. Once you know you're stuck in that spiral, you can start to step out of it. Here's a simple but effective strategy. Shift your focus to the present moment. Overthinking thrives in the past and future, but rarely in the present. Mindfulness and meditation can help you develop the skill to focus on now. Just breathe and center your mind. Another powerful technique is reframing. Challenge your thoughts by asking, is this thought based on reality? What's the evidence for and against it? This helps break the cycle by encouraging you to question your assumptions and finally, take action. Overthinking paralyzes us by convincing us that more thinking will lead to better decisions. In reality, sometimes the best way to solve a problem is simply to make a choice and move forward. Even if it's not the perfect choice, it's better than staying stuck in the loop of indecision. One often overlooked aspect of overcoming overthinking is, well, self-compassion. When we overthink, it's often driven by the fear of making mistakes or not living up to expectations. But the truth is, mistakes are just a part of life. By practicing self-compassion, we actually give ourselves permission to fail, to learn, and to grow. Instead of beating yourself up for overthinking, try this. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend who's struggling. This simple shift in mindset can really break the negative self-talk cycle and reduce anxiety. It's definitely possible to rewire your brain to stop overthinking, but it does take consistent effort. Just like any other habit, breaking free from overthinking requires practice. Neuroscientific studies show that when we change our behavior, the brain forms new neural pathways, strengthening the connections between our thoughts and actions. Start by setting small, manageable goals for yourself. Practice mindfulness every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Journaling can also be a really effective way to clear your mind and release those pent-up thoughts. Over time, these practices will retrain your brain to respond to stress with calm instead of overthinking. One of the most powerful things you can do to stop overthinking is to let go of control. Overthinking often comes from the desire to control every aspect of your life, every outcome, every decision, every conversation. But the truth is, we just can't control everything, and trying to do so only leads to more stress. Letting go means accepting that life is uncertain. It's about trusting yourself, your intuition, and the process. It's about being okay with the unknown and knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you can adapt and learn. This acceptance of uncertainty is a crucial part of breaking free from overthinking. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your experiences with overthinking and how you've been able to overcome it. Together, we can support each other on the path to living a more peaceful, focused life. If you're ready to take the next step in your journey of self-improvement, hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. Let's break the cycle of overthinking one step at a time.